on a position, you want to hedge yourself properly, Keefe, against the avalanche of takes that are positive for Drake Maye. I get that game. I know that game well. So you want to hedge yourself just to the side of everybody else.
So if he plays bad, you can be like, told you guys. Well, remember me? Remember I told you he was going to be bad?
He's also yelling at Damian Woody for his take that Maye's a top 5 quarterback. So what? If he's 6th, you were right?
But also, I think
he's well positioned on this take. Actually, the more we think about it,
I think because we do a lot of like rankings and top 5s and top 10s and things like that, there is a difference. There's a little bit of a nuance, Jones, to who's a top 5 quarterback, who's playing like a top 5 quarterback.
Sure.
And he even said Woody was crazy or tripping, I believe, for saying he's playing like a top 5 quarterback. Which that I don't think is up for debate.
Me neither.
If you want to say Lamar's still top 5 or I don't know, like Burrow, even though he's hurt. Like, I don't know, like there's more of a debate there. Like Mahomes, it might take multiple seasons for him to come off of the top 5, right? But through 7 weeks to say he's not playing like a top 5 quarterback, that is weird. Like
Damian Dakari, you're tripping, son.
You're tripping, son. So like what
was our old game?
Full name and tripping, son.
What was our old game?
Oh, you done, son.
You're done. We should bring
You done, son was a good game.
We should do you tripping, son.
We would have people call in and they could stay on the phone for as long as they were entertaining. And then the second they weren't, they were done.
Potentially the rest of the show.
Yeah, they could take over. It's like, you have an hour and a half of material. You could call in now. We'd let you on.
I mean, that was inbounds for the game. I mean,
it never actually happened.
You could have thrown to break. You could have come on, had a take, and gone right to break. You could have done that.
Hey, you could have.
And you were ready to steer the ship. That was you done, son. Yeah.
And then if a female called in, it was you done, hun. And then the hun would be done. And that's how we played the game. That is how we played.
I didn't recall that.
I think we only had one hun call in. It was a lot of sons.
Well, yeah, it was.
We could open the door up.
Yeah,
that was many years ago.
Maybe we should bring that back. That was a good Friday segment.
It was a great Friday segment.
Yeah, it really is.
So I feel like he is, like, I don't know what metric he is using other than he hasn't played anybody good, except for the Bills, who are one of the best teams in the league, and he beat them head-to-head.
Well, and I don't know how he's ever going to satisfy Cam Newton's expectations based on the Patriots' schedule.
Well, he needs to play the 85 Bears, and then he needs to play the 2000 Ravens.
It's, and I've done this before to athletes, it's an unfair expectation. But just how's he going to do that based on who they played and who they're going to play? They don't consistently play any good teams. So how's he going to do it?
And that's why I think the obvious counter, or if you're in this argument with Cam Newton, if you were in there in person, you'd say, all right, I'll give you that. Now you give me who your top 5 guys are now, currently. Because it's just like when people say, like, you know, you get into the debate of like, this movie sucks. It's like, all right, well, what movie do you like? And then you hear the list and you're like, oh, like we just don't see it the same way.
Yeah.
You know, like, who are the 5 best quarterbacks right now? And if he was like telling you, I don't know, what would it be, like Sam Darnold, Jared Goff, I guess, maybe Indiana Jones. I don't know who you'd pick. Or does he just go to default to Mahomes, Allen, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts?
As an ex-quarterback,
Dak Prescott.
My guess is he would go, he'd go Mahomes, Allen, Lamar, Burrow. I bet he still has Burrow on the list.
That's what I'm saying. So like
that's a good way to worm out of it, and then somebody else is 5, and boom, your list is done. And there's nothing wrong with that list. Who are the best quarterbacks in the NFL? Assuming health?
Yeah.
That's a different debate, I think, than what they were having, but maybe that was his point.
Yeah.
Here's another metric, MVP odds.
Oh.
Just betting markets. DraftKings, Drake Maye is 4th, plus 850. That trails Mahomes, plus 125. Mahomes is playing great, and he just got Rashee Rice back.
Yeah.
So
no, he's tough to top.
He got too much hype the last couple of years when their offense wasn't great. Their offense is back. If you're watching Kansas City, their offense is back. Allen is 2, plus 360. Baker Mayfield still plus 700 at DraftKings. Stafford is plus 1,000. So Drake Maye's 4th there. On FanDuel, Mahomes also plus 125. Allen plus 350. May is 3rd there, plus 700. That's ahead of Baker Mayfield at plus 900. I would want the betting markets. You don't want to overreact to one bad game for Mayfield, but May was good again. Mayfield was bad. I think May should be ahead of him today. And Matt Stafford at plus 1,200. So that's one metric where he's top 5 on both when you're talking about the MVP, which Cam Newton should know something about.
And so you know what's fun, too, is you get one more Drake Maye versus Josh Allen game, and you're going to get a Drake Maye Baker Mayfield game, and you're going to get a Drake Maye Lamar Jackson game, assuming Lamar's healthy on that week. So even though the schedule is not the toughest schedule in the world for Drake Maye, which is also a good thing and which is going to help his MVP, you know, if he ends up winning 12 games, maybe even winning the division, and then you have a couple of marquee signature games where you're going head-to-head with another really good quarterback. He already passed the test on the first one.
Yep.
So that could be another big feather in his cap if he outduels another one of those guys. Yeah, he has a realistic chance. He does.
So a texter earlier brought up Cam Newton's schedule in 15, right?
Yeah.
I just went through. They played.
They were 15-1.
They were 15-1. They played 6 teams at or above 500. 2 of them were 500. So if you do, that'd be 4 teams above
winning
500.
Correct. 4 winning teams.
In the 2015 season, where he completed under 60% of his passes.
I'm
and won
sorry.
MVP.
Okay, he was deserving of the MVP.
Oh, he
that
was.
he was
but
great.
Their schedule was easy.
But
Fine.
like he also beat all bad teams.
Just to clarify, that was counting playoffs or not counting?
That
couldn't
was
have been
just
counting
regular
playoffs.
season.
Yeah, I was going to say that couldn't have been counting playoffs. And the Broncos took it to him in that Super Bowl.
They did.
So
Got to dive on that ball. Is what
yeah,
they said about
Cam would
Newton.
know. And remember how easy some of those NFC Souths were over the. I think Carolina made it at 8-8 one year. I
So
think
did
when
the
Cam
Saints.
was there.
I believe Saints were like under 500 maybe.
So look, when it comes to the discussion about Drake Maye, I don't want to. Patriots fans shouldn't be too sensitive about this. Like we were pushing back on Curran, and we're highlighting the Cam Newton take just because it stands out because everybody's been so positive. But just know, people now pushing back on like the overhype or the pendulum starting to swing back the other way is another different way of saying and showing that Drake Maye has arrived.
Mm-hmm.
The fact that he's now to the point where we're critiquing, well, is he a top 5 quarterback? Is he really an MVP? And some people are willing to go there and push back. That is kind of the next wave of, oh, yeah, Drake Maye is here, and maybe he's here to stay. Because when you get that level of pushback after the initial hype and everybody jumping on board the bandwagon with Drake Maye, that's, again, probably flattering in a weird way that you're getting that pushback on that level of show. Yeah, that means the guy's here, and he's probably here to stay.
Yeah, because how many positive segments on the Patriots last year did national media have? 0?
Maybe one after they beat the Bengals week 1. Other than that, I couldn't possibly imagine
But
one.
even that probably wasn't really on the radar that much.
Probably not.
There's other
it was
stories
probably
going
more
on.
about Burrow and the Bengals and how they stink than about the Patriots.
And then it was
0.0.
They probably had 10 seconds, on, hey, Drake Maye's now the starter. And then that played out and went poorly, and the whole team was bad and whatever else. And then how they lost a higher draft pick because they won the last game. Maybe they talked about that.
Maybe.
But, like, whether a guy is deserving of MVP candidacy or whether or not the team is, like, a real contender, like, we're already talking about that, and it's not even Halloween.
So Maye can't consistently beat up on quality competition like Cam is asking for. What he can do the next 3 weeks is he can beat 2 good defenses. Cleveland and Atlanta are really good defenses.
Yeah.
Atlanta statistically entering the week was the number 1 defense in the league, and Cleveland has been great defensively. And then they get Tampa in 3 weeks. So that's an interesting stretch for Drake Maye.
Definitely.
2 tough defenses in home games, and then I imagine Tampa will look differently, although Evans isn't going to play in Week 10. He might not play again this year, but Mayfield has mostly been without him all year long. That's going to be a huge game on November 9th, Pats and Tampa Bay. But this will be a big stretch from him. If he turns into a pumpkin, or what was I want to get the phrasing again from Tommy Curran. What did he say again?
He made a deal with the devil.
Thank you. If his deal with the devil runs out, Keefe, these next 2 weeks against good defenses, people will be talking about him a lot differently going into that Bucs game. But if he continues to excel, and then you have that kind of shootout or matchup anyway with Baker Mayfield, that's a big stretch for him to prove to people like Cam Newton, some of the few doubters out there, that he's legit.
How many interceptions does Drake Maye throw this season?
Oh, what's he at right now?
2.
8?
Yeah, right. So like
5 or 6. 7 or 8. Good call.
5 or 6, 7 or 8.
Let me say single digits. Can I revise it to 9? Give me single digits.
I think at this point it better be single digits because the pace right now is for 5 probably. Yeah, that's the pace. So like it would have to go kind of wonky.
You think it'd be minus money on 8 or 9 is what you're saying? Yeah,
I don't think it's gonna be stuck on 2.
No.
But
Do you think he throws one this week?
It's Cleveland.
I bet it's juicy odds to bet that. I don't know that for a fact. Maybe Cleveland's defense is getting the respect it deserves.
Yeah,
but I wouldn't be surprised if he throws one this week.
Well, let's see. The last interception he threw was Pittsburgh. So it's 4 straight games without a pick. So yeah, maybe. Yeah.
Okay. Well, maybe I'll.
But I'm not going to say, he's porked.
Maybe I'll do some research on
the
that.
guy's done.
Maybe that's a suggestion for your.
Put a couple clams down on that.
Your Bozo touchdown parlay.
Yeah.
Or your Bozo parlay. I'm sorry. We do the Bozo touchdown parlay here on Jones and Keefe.